This is my Attack on Titan hand-painted 3D print, and I'm going to show you how I did it.
Ooh, yeah. See, I'm only superhuman. Levitating, going to the moon, and blast off, blast off. Yeah, you see my true plan. Spreading joy, feeling new, yeah. Showing up with my best self. Bam. Look at that. I'm feeling good. Alright. I'm feeling good. Alright. Watch me get it live. I'm jamming, keep it moving, blast off. My master plan, spreading good vibes, showing up with your bad self. Damn, you can have all of that. I'm feeling good. Alright.
Alright, if you couldn't tell by the new intro, I did upgrade my new printer, and I basically tripled my build volume. So this is the biggest print that I have ever made on a resin printer, and I could not be more happy with it. However, it did cost a lot of money to make, I'm not even going to lie to you. But to start off, this is going to be the Armored Titan. I'm going to be making him first, and basically I just want to get the base colors down. I'm taking this kind of a darker red, and then I'm going to take a darker tan and kind of paint over the armored portion of it, and then we'll get some light colors in a little bit, and we'll dry brush right over the top of it. For the highlights on the Armored Titan, basically what I did was I took some yellow and brown and mixed it together, and then a little bit of white to kind of wash it out a little bit, and that's what color you're seeing here for the highlights. I didn't have an exact color. I did have to mix this one up in order to get that effect, but I'd say that he's looking pretty good. And now I'm going to move on to the Colossal Titan. So basically for the muscle portion of the Colossal Titan, you're going to do the same exact thing that you did for the Armored Titan, just that base coat in red, and then come back with a lighter red and just dry brush right over the top of it. This light that I have shining down on the Colossal Titan is kind of not really showing the effect. You'll be able to see here kind of the effect that it's doing in natural lighting, but I promise you there is a difference in the highlights and the base color, even though it doesn't look like it in this lighting. Now for the bone structure, all I did was take a dark warm gray, and I've kind of painted the base coat for all of the bones, and then I came back with a titanium white and dry brushed right over the top of it. In hindsight, I probably wish that I maybe should have used an ivory color here instead of a titanium white, because I feel that the titanium white was just too bright, took away a little bit. But maybe that's something that you guys can experience with if you end up doing this build yourself. Okay, now I want to show you something that seems to be eluded in a lot of videos like this, but that is the LEDs that you run. So basically what I did here, I have the link in the description to the LEDs that I used, but I used two different types of LEDs, all connected to one battery, and I ran that down through his eyes. And then I took some clear resin, poured it in there, and hardened it in place. Don't worry, that's not going to affect the LED itself. You will never be able to get it out. That's the downside, I guess. But they should be fine just in place. The LEDs last a really long time. The only thing you'll have to change probably is your battery. So make sure that you, when you route these in your 3D print, that you leave a space to be able to access your batteries. So for Erin, I basically used two different whites for his shirt and his pants. His shirt is a little bit more of a warmer white, and his pants are more of a just regular gray. So you want those to be separated in color in the actual show, you can actually see a little bit of a differentiation between the white in his shirt and the white in his pants. So try to capture that by using two different types of whites, a warmer white in his shirt and a kind of a cooler white in his pants. But you don't necessarily have to add blue to it. You could just use black and white. All I'm really doing here is basically picking a color that is a little bit darker than the color that I want the final color to be, painting that on, and then I'll come back with the same color that's a little bit lighter and just paint on the highlights. Okay, so someone left a comment for me in one of my previous videos and told me that makeup brushes work great for dry brushing. And you are 100% correct. I appreciate the tip. The tip is super good. So I think I bought like, I don't know, 15 makeup brushes for not that expensive. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in picking them up. But they worked phenomenal for dry brushing. Basically, I just put a little bit on and then brush the excess off onto my palette, and then I would go and move it to the actual piece itself. And you'll see here when I put on like the white highlights, it really comes forward. So thank you so much to whoever it was that left that comment. I've come to the realization that I don't really post a lot of the prints just like straight off of the printer. So these are the lightning that's going to be coming in. The wind and the lightning I both printed in clear resin. Now when it comes off of the printer, it's going to have a little bit of a yellow hue to it. So there's two ways of getting around this. One, you can add a little bit of blue tint to your liquid resin. That way it'll cancel out that yellow and print more clear. Secondly, I have this glossy varnish and I actually added a small amount of blue paint in it, simply because I knew that I wanted my piece to be smooth, and that worked out well for the wind. For the yellow, I did the same exact thing. I just added a little bit of yellow paint to the clear varnish, glossy varnish, and painted the lightning, which you see here. And now it's time to piece it all together and show you guys the glamour shots. So here we go.